All right, well, first, thanks everybody for being on this working group here to do such important work for the city to move the Police Civilian Review Board forward in a way that everybody thinks it maximizes the ability to improve our community with our police and our community and our input. But I'm here this afternoon to talk about the passage of Breonna's Law, and it being such a very important step in the process of making our city a more peaceful, a more just, compassionate, and equitable community. This new law makes permanent two changes that I enacted last month by executive order. First, on May 29th, I suspended the use of no-knock warrants. In the aftermath of the tragic killing of Breonna Taylor, it is clear that the danger of these type of warrants posed to civilians and police officers is greater than their benefit. On May the 18th, I mandated that all police officers wear and activate body cameras while serving a search warrant. And my hope is that the changes in this law will serve as a model for cities around the country. These are a couple of the steps that we as a city are taking and will be taking as we work on the critical issue of police reform, because we have seen how much work there is to do all around the country, 150, 200 cities, and then in our city as well. We share a common goal: establish greater trust, respect, legitimacy between the people of our city and the police officers who are charged with protecting them. Our police share that goal. One other important step toward that is, of course, finding the truth in the Breonna Taylor case, which is now in the hands of Attorney General Daniel Cameron. His office has the materials necessary to review the facts of this case and make a determination that serves justice. I urge him to do that as soon as possible. And I welcome the results of the independent investigation by the FBI and the review of the U.S. Attorney's Office as well. There's frustration. I get that. Investigations and reviews like this take time, and that time period oftentimes is not aligned with the expectation of our citizens. So that's why we're moving on the steps that we can. My mom, all of y'all had moms that had sayings. My mom's was, Greg, take care of what you can take care of in your own backyard before you worry about somebody else's backyard. So there are things that we can take care of in our backyard while we work to activate other folks' backyard. What we've done is search for new leadership at LMPD. Our national search for a permanent chief has begun where it should, with Louisvillians, the public, our residents. Already, in approximately 36 hours, we've had more than 3,000 people complete a community survey about the qualities that we want to see in a new chief. And we want more, so keep the input coming in. Other steps: I reorganized our public safety cabinet and LMPD, which now reports to Amy Hess, our chief of public service, who came to Metro government after a long, distinguished career as the top-ranking female in the FBI. And along with Metro Council, I've convened this diverse group of citizens from throughout our community to help us establish a civilian review board with subpoena power over police disciplinary matters. Change is here, and more change is coming. Thanks to the members of the Metro Council for their leadership and partnership, especially Councilwomen Jessica Green and Councilwoman Barbara Sexton Smith, who championed the Breonna's Law legislation. And thank you to those whose emphatic cries of enough have fueled the marches, the protests, the movement, sweeping our country, sweeping our city, have filled the streets of America and helped bring us to this moment. Yesterday, when news broke about this passage of the bill, there were cheers from the protesters, the marchers gathered in Jefferson Square Park. And I knew there was celebration, not just in this city, but around the country and the world. And rightly so. I felt exactly the same way. And this, of course, is just one step, one victory forward in the fight for justice and peace and equity in our city and nation, an example of how we can all work together. And we know we've got a long way to go, but we're only going to get there if we do it together. I'd now like to ask up Councilwoman Paula McCraney, who was instrumental in the passage of Breonna's law, to say a few words. Councilwoman?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On last night, the Metro Council exhibited great courage and leadership by passing Breonna's law. We worked together, we listened to the community, and we got it done. That goes to show you that when we as elected officials see that government by the people, for the people, and of the people is paramount, then we can get things done. And I'm so proud to be a Metro Council person at this moment, because this is just the beginning of great things to come to correct a lot of wrongs. Enough is enough, but action now speaks louder than words. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman, and thank you for the action from the entire Metro Council. I want to thank Metro Council President David James also for his role in this. And I would like to note that the passage of this bill was unanimous by the entire Metro Council. So I'm proud of this moment and of our council, and to serve in a city where so many people are standing up and speaking out and demanding action. And I say, let's continue that, and let's continue that work together. That is the quickest way to get us to a just future. Part of the rallying cry for this movement has been, say her name. It is with profound sense of hope that I now sign this legislation which writes Breonna Taylor's name into the law and into the history of this city and this country forever. Okay, it is official law.